know it, maybe not even, but Colombia has some of the most famous gravity in the world. So when you go on Google, you find thousands of images of very beautiful Colombian gravity. And I can imagine that when I look in the Netherlands, some idiots, they write stupid text on trains or walls. Yeah, and it will cost a lot to take that away. But when I see like this, who is going to take this away? This is very beautiful. And when I typed it in, we even have difficulties with choosing what to use because there are hundreds, thousands of pictures, and one is even more spectacular than the other one. We choose someone because when you have this on the wall, when you wake up in the morning and you find out that somebody put this on your wall, are you going to take it away? Absolutely not. It's real artwork, and actually it's all to do with that Colombian temperament. People want to express themselves. Colombians are real artists, ladies and gentlemen. They live very passionately. They live with their heart. They live outside. And Colombia is as well world famous for the coffee. You know, this is really the most, the money-making export product of Colombia. This is where, and when you look at it, you see some fields, you see the beans, you see the regions. They have the northern coffee region, they have the central coffee region, and they have the southern. And it are actually big regions, and Colombia is the #1 export product. Now, to give you an expression, can you imagine that some of those coffee companies that export all over the world, that some of them, they open a warehouse or a store in the view? Think about this, how this works. So they want to deliver straight from their warehouse to the end consumer. They can do that via shops. That's a whole in between product arrangement, trucks, warehouses. They can use a network marketing company from it. But can you imagine that in the view in Colombia, they open a store called Colombian Coffee, Café de Colombia, and that we have different brands. And those companies, it's just an idea. That's, you see how I think. It's just an idea. What they do is that actually they start to offer directly to the end consumer. And coffee, you can wrap it up and send it easily. And that we built a virtual real estate store for them in the different cities. So in Bogota, in Cartagena, in Medellin, in Cucuta, in all the big cities. And that people start to order coffee from them. So firstly, we make money when you have Colombia with the real estate, because they rent out or they let us to build, or we do something and they pay for that. So whatever money comes out of that virtual real estate sales or lease or rent, that is the vertical of the real estate. 5% of the turnover that comes out of that is shared amongst the 10,000 people that own one of the units of Colombia. It's your attitude towards it. You know, for every problem there is a solution. And when I let my son always do it, I will never find out how it works, but now I figured it out myself. So it's as well a learning experience. Yes, maybe you laugh at it, you think, how is it possible that he doesn't know that? Yeah, it is possible because I never did things like this, so I was specialized in other things. But you know what? There's a time for learning. Now, I was with the coffee, ladies and gentlemen, and I won't continue this. Can you imagine that those different brands out of Colombia, they will have their own real Colombian coffee store via virtual real estate in Colombia. That means that when people order coffee from them, they can deliver it straight to the home address of those people. I think it will be a challenge for all those companies like DPD and what do you have all DHL, because they're coming then thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands packages out of Colombia. I can imagine they get crazy from that. Shipped directly to the end consumer. And then we make a deal with them. We give them the leash. They pay a certain amount, but we want, let's say, 5 or 10% of the turnover. Can you imagine that? That means they don't have to advertise. They don't have to go to the shopping centers. They can make their own price. What is interesting, and of course, that price will be always cheaper than you pay in the supermarket. When you buy coffee in the supermarket, there are so much blocks in between an import and export company, a supermarket, a this, a that, a such, a so. And possibly they are not even getting a serious price for the coffee. Now, can you imagine that those companies are able to deliver straight to the end consumer? They get a better price and the consumer pays less. And whatever they sell, 10% of their turnover goes to the view. And from that 10%, 5% goes to the people that have the units of Colombia. You know, it's just an idea of me. But can you imagine that when the view gets millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions of visitors, that it could be interesting for a company from Colombia to show. They can even advertise. Whoever visits Colombia, something, they can have an advert. Maybe we make a deal with them. We help them with the advert. Maybe they pay for the advert, but maybe we take our own responsibility in it. We make the advert for them, but we take 15% of their turnover. Think about all the possibilities, ladies and gentlemen. How much coffee do you think can be sold directly from these great fields, from these great companies in Colombia to the world? Do you have any idea? Let me do something. I always use Google for that. This is just an idea coming up. So, coffee. Colombia turnover. Let's see what it gives me. Okay. It tells me here Colombia has a reputation for producing mild, well-balanced coffee beans. Colombia average annual coffee production of 11.5 million kilos. Wow, that's the kilos. So says here that the turnover it exceeds 1 trillion Colombian pesos. Can somebody tell me how much Colombian pesos I need for a euro?
It's 4,500. Yeah.
So you need 4,500 Colombian pesos for 1 euro.
Yes, sir.
So that means divide 1 trillion by 4,500. How much is that? How much do we talk about? Who can do that fast? I know my telephone doesn't do that because he already quits. He always quits me with a billion. Who can calculate that fast for me? Who can write that in the chat? How much is that? 1 trillion pesos. How much euros is that? Who knows the answer? Do you have the answer already, Jorge?
No, sir, because I don't have the calculator right now, and I'm with a cell phone and with a PC. But
Petra, you are already almost past
A
it.
ver, yo tengo, Jorge, pero no sé si estoy haciendo bien. Son 3 billones, es lo mismo que trillones, ¿no? Son 9 ceros. Entre 24 pesos que está el euro. ¿Sí estoy correcta en el número?
how many zeros, sir? Zeros? Correct.
No escucha.
Sir, how many zeros for a trillion? 6 or 9? 9 zeros. 9 zeros for a trillion?
Let me see. How much is 1 trillion Colombian pesos?
It's 18 zeros, Jorge. 18,
Euro.
18
Zeros.
zeros.
Wow.
18 zeros.
18 zeros.
Yes, my calculator cannot do this.
There's no calculator for that lot of zeros.
No,
I have it here.
no nos deja.
It's calculate. Oh wait, I don't think what happened. I'm lost. Let me see. Where am I? I don't see myself anymore.
Okay, we have a lot of responses in Google. In Google says
1000, 10.000, 100.000, 10 miljoen, 100 miljoen. It says here.
Albert Juarez from Venezuela told us about 245,000 millions 645 euros.
I get out of it here. I get 245 million.
Yeah.
245 million.
And plus.
And plus 640,475, and that even gives me 80 cents. So
Yes,
245 million.
245 millones de euros.
Yes, look at this. I get this out of it. So now we do the calculation based on that. So we just say 245 million. 245 million. Let's imagine that somewhere in the future, 10, 15 years from now, those companies are able, because now they can deliver straight to the world. A lot of people don't know about Colombian coffee, but now they have direct access to the end consumer. It's not what the supermarket want to sell their home brand or country wants to sell their country brand. But Colombian coffee is very famous. The people like it. It's mild of taste, means that it's acceptable for everybody in the world. So let's presume that we are able in the future to bring to this amount, not that somebody else loses it, but we are able to do 10% extra volume via the view. 10%, like we make some advertising, we do some things, we help them out. And then we on a yearly base are able to bring an extra 25 million turnover. 25 million extra turnover towards that. At 10% extra. That sounds reasonable in my opinion. That means that when they have 25 million, and let's say that because we do some work, we do some advertising, and let's presume that we get 10% of that. Maybe 20 when we do more, but let's first do 10%. Let's see what comes out of it. That means that 10% extra is a 25 million, and 10% goes to us. That is 2.5 million, in my opinion. 2.5 million. I think it must be even more, but my computer can do this. 2.5 thousand, 10,000, 100,000, 2.5 million divided by. Can you see one product? One product in the future. Just one product. No tourism yet, no ticketing, no gambling, no gaming, no real estate, just one product, coffee. Directly, my idea, it's just an idea. 25 million extra, that's not that much. 10% goes to us, so they keep 90%. That's good for them, they make way more money. The coffee farmers are getting way more richer with that, because I don't think they get a better percentages of profit. It's a more honorable trade. It's more a Max Havelaar type of trade. And then from that 2.5 million, 5% goes to the unit holders. And then that's divided by 10,000, because there are 10,000 units holders. That means that only from the coffee, just one product, this is already the amount that comes into your account when you are one of the 10,000 unit holders. 250 euro. Now maybe you say that is not a lot, but remember that you only paid 125 for a unit. Think about that. You only paid 125, and only from coffee that is directly sold. So I don't talk about any of the other things. It already gives you double the amount than what you paid for it. And this can be per week, per month, or per year. But even when it's per year, Colombia is a good deal. Are you understanding what I mean? So go to any bank, buy real estate, do things. You will never get these percentages out of it. And I even think it's higher, because I'm not sure if that was 80 cents or just two more numbers. I think a trillion is 16 zeros after the first number or something like that. So I think it's even more, but at least you see now already with one calculation, coffee And when you pay only 125 euros for it, this is a tremendous deal. On top of that, you have all the other things. Now, Colombia, some famous things. I don't have them all, but we took some. The Park Nacional, the Cano Cristales, the South. Oh, my son did beautiful. Zoutkathedraal. That's a Dutch word, but you will see it later. Castillo San Felipe de Barajas. He took Medellin, Bogota, El Panon de Guatapé. Guatapé, I was there. Las Lagas Sanctuary and Cartagena. So there's way more. Don't be upset when you live in a city that is famous and we don't have it. But to give you an example, this is one of the national parks that you have. Just some pictures. Can you imagine that we are able to virtual film all this? Now, something that is not in this presentation is the fact that the Colombians, I was in the past, when I was young, I was a professional cyclist. And as a young guy, I did the Tour de France for young people. And at the same time that I did that, you had the Colombian Eagles. The Eagles of Colombia that were actually flying over the mountains, like I think it was Heras or Herrera or something like that. And those guys were extremely fast in climbing the mountains. They were called the Condors of Colombia. Condors, that's how they call them. And cycling is very big in Colombia. At the moment, we have even a guy, he just had an accident that won the Tour de France. So that is a sport that millions of people are watching. And because of the mountains of Colombia, it becomes a national sport. And when we are able to get that in the view, you guys will make a fortune by the sports part of the cycling. Can you imagine? Now, we have the Cano Cristales, so waterfalls so unique and so spectacular from colors that the moment that it gets seen, it starts little, but when people see how beautiful it is, they want to have the experience. And it can be that at a certain moment, thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people want to see it and have the experience. Maybe we do it for free, but then you make a fortune with advertising. Maybe we let them fly over for a ticket of €1 or €2. Then you make money with the ticketing. Then, this is the cathedral. Now I see what he means. There are special places, and this is one of them in Colombia, where the cathedral is under the ground, made in salt. So it is one of the things I'm looking forward to visit this one day, because it's spectacular. Now, then you have the forts. Actually, it looks like a pyramid type of a thing, because it has the layers, build, and it can be that in the future they find even out that this was one of those superb constructions. People from all over the world come to visit this. Then the city of Medellin, I already spoke about that. But honestly, I was extremely impressed. I've been in Bogota, I've been in Cartagena, I've been in Cali, and I went to Medellin, and I expected something completely different. And I find out that Medellin is extremely friendly. People said to me, I remember that I was there 30 years ago. It was one of the most dangerous beaches in the world. But today, ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful place. It is complete inspiration. People are extremely friendly. A lot of young people are in info technology. They are ahead of the game in the complete South America, ladies and gentlemen, that Medellin City is completely focusing from the white powder into actually the info technology, and they are leading. there are so much good developments that Medellin as a city is rich, and you can see it. It's beautiful. It's not dangerous at all. And I look forward to be able to have shots from Medellin, city tours, and those things. I think people will be shocked how beautiful it is. And I walked in Medellin. I was with the motorcycle. I went with the car, but together with Mario and Giovanna, we had the possibility to go with the helicopter and fly over it. And we were flying, and I do that straight after it. Then you see that we were flying from Medellin to El Panon de Guatapé. There you see, it's one of those pictures that we make. We went up into the high hills, and there we find the plateau with lakes, so incredible, beautiful, and spectacular. And we went to this rock, from what they say, this is moonstone. It came from the moon. It collapsed back from the moon. Officially, the moon was part of the earth, and a meteorite hit the earth somewhere in Mexico, and it came off. It came off the earth, and that created the moon. But this is a stone that, when that happened, it was not becoming a meteorite on itself, but it came back to the planet Earth, and it hit it. Is really, I will challenge you to run the helicopter tour and fly to it. You understand immediately what I mean. This will be visited by millions and millions of people. Can you imagine that people are able to do the helicopter ride, go here, have the experience to climbing the hill, and they pay only €5. Back then, I paid a fortune for it. But can you imagine that millions of people are buying tickets for this experience? And I can imagine, because I know it will happen when you see the beauty of this. And for that, I go back to Medellin, because already here you see where's not the highland already. This is just down there. When you go up in those mountains, volcanoes, active volcanoes, a lot of activity there, and it's stunning, ladies and gentlemen. And we have another extremely beautiful. I think some people have not a clue that they unmute themselves, but it happens. Bogota, one of the other cities, another spectacular, super, super duper metro grand big city, ladies and gentlemen. And you must understand that Colombia has a lot. Colombia is really a beautiful country, but the honestly is well that Colombia has a lot of people living it. It has 51 million people. 51 million people. And there I do the same thing. Let's presume that those 51 million people, they spend an average of €1. Just €1. Is Colombia a poor country? No. It's not considered a poor. It's considered a mid-income country. So it is not poor at all. When you look at the numbers, then Colombia, the last 5 years, the average income grows and grows. I always say when it's under 100, yeah, then you can consider it a poor country, but the average income, and it has a lot of farmers' parts, is even above 250. At the moment, it's already above €250. So, and that is called a mid-income country, and it's extremely focusing on info technology. Let's presume that every single month, the average Colombian spends only €1 on the view, only one. That means that every month we have already from that 51 million. 51 million. And then we do the calculation again. 51 million. I get crazy from my little, I hope I need another telephone that can calculate the things faster. 50.000, 100.000, 51 million divided by 100 times 5 means that 1000, 10,000, 100,000, 2.5 million every month comes in the view. 2.5 million comes in the view every single month, only from the average of the Colombians divided by 10,000 means there comes another 255 euro every single month your way. Can you imagine when that number goes up from 1 euro to 10 euro? This is all the people in Colombia, from 1 to 10. Then you already make 2,500. That's and the 255 is already double what you paid once for Colombia, 125 euro. Can you imagine that every single month comes out 255 euro per unit that you allocated to it? I think it's serious money because that's double than what you paid for. Can you imagine that you allocate 10? Means you pay 1,255 euros for it, and now, or 1,250 euro for the 10, and now every single month it brings you 2,500. Is that a deal or not? Would you do it? Think about it. When you pay for something, 1,250 euros, and let's say 7 years from now, every single month it will bring you 2,500. Would you sign up for this deal? Think about it. Let me know in the chat. I want to know in the chat if you are interested in that deal. If you have that mid-long. I'm anxious to know. Yeah, you see, I made a miscalculation with the coffee. It's billion, 25 billion, not million. That's a huge difference. A million or a billion, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2 zeros. I came out on 250. Do you remember? So that's actually 25,000 that comes to you your way only from the coffee. Oof. Are you interested in it? I want to know from you directly because I like that we have the interaction. Because I showed you coffee. I can do matches with you. I can do sports. I can do Guatapé. But now I'm asking you only from the Colombians. Can you imagine that you have a unit of 125 and every single month brings you 250? Can you imagine that you have 10 units, but every single month brings you 2,500? Let's say it starts 7 years from now. I can say maybe it's 5, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 10, but it starts. It comes to you. It starts lower, of course. And let's say that in 2 years it brings you exactly the money you pay every year. And in 7 years it brings you every month. And in 15 years it brings you every week. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you must think. That's how you must look at the view. It's a mid and long-term vision. But when you have that time and you build a network and in the meantime you make money by building the organization, then your future is brighter than your eyes can handle, ladies and gentlemen. So, and I do this on purposely, ladies and gentlemen, because I want that you understand the big potential. Now, here we have my son looks at things. No, I have to pronounce it differently because this is not Las Jas, of course. How do you pronounce this? Las Lajas?
Las Lajas. Las Lajas.
The G becomes a G. Las Lajas. Las Lajas Sanctuary. You know, a sanctuary. This is a cathedral. This is a very famous place where people go to and they visit that as well. Now, yeah, personally, I'm a big fan of this city, Cartagena. My first son, when I was 7, I saw a comic strip, and the comic strip was a French comic strip, like we have a lot. We have Asterix and Obelix and the Daltons, and we have Guust Vlater, and we have a lot of those. But one of them was futuristic, and it was called a hero called Carthago. And I like the name so much that I always thought, when I get a son, I will name him after the hero of this comic strip. Now, the comic strip doesn't exist anymore, but you know what? My son came. He was born, and he is in the meantime 35. He's a pilot for KLM. His name is Carthago Alexander Alberts. And then I figured out a couple of years after he was born that it was, of course, an empire. I knew that already, but there are many cities in the world named after that empire. Because Carthago, Carthage, is a city, it was the biggest city in Africa 2,000 years ago, and it was even more powerful than the Greek and the Romans. Whatever they conquered, whatever they began, they called it Africa. Can you imagine? They had the whole of Africa, and they were at a certain moment even so powerful that they took the whole of Spain and the whole of Switzerland and Austria, and they took almost the whole part of Italy. They went to the other side, Egypt, and they had the whole Mediterranean area and Africa under lead of Hannibal. He went with elephants coming in. So it's a famous name, Carthago, and Cartagena comes from that name. And when you look at this city, and I was looking at it, I was happy to visit it a couple of times. And one day I will tell you the story how I visited it 30 years ago, because I had to come from the head capital with a bus to this city. And in that time, you know, you had the guerrillas. They took us 3 times out of the bus. It costed me a ring. But, you know, I saw that beautiful city, Cartagena, and I know that there are sometimes retreats, and I look forward to be there again. This is really mesmerizing. It's one of the most beautiful places in South America to visit. It has really stunning, beautiful beaches. And from this point of view, I really believe that Colombia has so much to offer, ladies and gentlemen. It's so much. It's one of the most modern countries in South America, and it's moving extremely fast. It's a friendly culture. It's a colorful culture. It's a rich culture. It has the food, the music, the singing. It has the business potential. It has the IT, the info technology focus. And I think that Colombia is one of those countries that you must have in your portfolio. And the beauty is, it only costs €125, and on top of it, you get double the units. So when you allocate an ultra pack towards it, think about this. With an ultra pack, you get 21 units in the infinity pool. And because we have double the units till the end of the month, you get directly 42 units in the infinity pool. Wow. That on itself is a reason to allocate a pack to Colombia. And I hope when you do that, put it in the groups, show it to the people, because it will make the difference. I'm pretty sure that when I would, again, and I have already almost 2% of Colombia, so we bought a lot of units. There are 100,000. I think we have almost 200 units of Colombia, because we see potential. And of course, I will do everything that is in our power to not only predict the future, but use the best way to predict the future by creating it. So I came on the idea of the coffee. I can guarantee you that at the moment we launch the beta version, I will go after some coffee companies in Colombia and see if I can make them a client to what I just had for an idea, to make that realization. Because when that happens and every unit brings me €25,000 on yearly base, just by those companies selling extra coffee, nobody will lose something, but it's an extra. And I really think we do great by doing that. Good. Now let me go straight into the last country. And you know what is? I know that it's 10 o'clock, so I'm already 4 hours. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? We are 4 hours already on the move. Wow, and I'm standing all the time. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to sit down for a second. You see, this is how I create my standing place. The chair of my daughter, 2 things on it, 2 books on it, and that's, but now I'm going to sit a little bit with you guys because we have Mexico coming up. And Mexico, I can only say one thing. Mexico is a big, big deal. Mexico is extremely important. Mexico is where you really want to have your units from. Mexico is a 250 country, ladies and gentlemen. I have it over here. Mexico is a 250 country, and look at the population. 129 million Mexicans. And you already see in this group, Mexico is richly represented. Most people in the United States that we have in California are all originated from Mexico. So Mexico is really an entrepreneurial country. And everybody in Mexico wants to be his own boss. Actually, Mexico has 129 million entrepreneurs. They all want to be in business. They are very free. They are very liberal. They do whatever it takes. The Mexicans at the moment, Colombia was famous for something. Today, Mexico has taken that over because everybody, good or bad, wants to be in business. And I truly believe that Mexico has such a great potential because of what it has to offer. It is the favorite country of the favorite touristical destination of Americans. 300 million Americans, they like to go on vacation. And what is the number 1 destination? Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. Mexico is extremely good in sports. It competes in a lot of different sports. It is one of the best football nations out of that part of the world. Out of the North America, it is by far the one that has the most titles and the most wins. In the whole of North and South America, it has only compete with Brazil and with Argentina. But then you mention some countries that are really ruling, that are really top of the world. So Mexico has something unique. It has pyramids, and it has even more pyramids than Egypt. It has way more pyramids than any other country, and they are more spectacular. Even I've seen them in Egypt, I've seen them in Mexico. That culture of the Mayas and the Aztecs, and it's not only one. Mexico has different cultures, and it's I want to speak in superlatives, but it is spectacular. Now, I did the calculation with the Colombians. Now let's do the same. With the Colombians, I did 51. Here we have 129 million, even more. But the unit costs 250. Let's do the same calculation for Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do the same calculation. Now, you see one thing that comes immediately there, where the average income in Colombia is just above 250. The average income in Mexico is 736 million. 736 euros. So that's 3 times the average income. Let's presume that the Mexicans with this income, they are easily able, and they are entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen. That's why when you look at leadership, we have already a crown diamonds in Mexico. Giovanna Rentera and Mario Vilmas. We have in Mexico, we have different diamonds. We have Gabriela Salgado, we have Eduardo Vasquez, Jorge Roman and his wife, everybody with his partner, of course. And we have even more. We have more leadership we had in Mexico. That is the entrepreneur. The challenge I always see with Mexico is that they can be for a while extremely focused. They are fanatic in building it. The challenge is the consistency. The challenge is that when it doesn't go the way they want, they easily go somewhere else. And I have to be honest, we even had black diamonds and blue diamonds in Mexico. But you know what? They went somewhere else. Now, and I will tell you a story, not giving you the names, but I always stay in contact with all the people. Because, you know, it is like in a marriage. Sometimes you break up with the marriage, but you don't break up with the children out of that marriage. Are you agreeing? Sometimes people go to another company, but I don't break up the friendship that I have because that is a different thing. And, you know, I spoke with 3 blue diamonds and black diamonds, and they all said to me, Igor, I really regret that I didn't have the consistency to stay on board. I get subtracted by the grass that looked greener at the other side. And they all said, you know, we have to go every year to another company and we were not even able to make half the money that we made in Success Factory. Unfortunately, we made that decision. It is the way it is. We cannot come back because we did cross recruiting and we understand that the company doesn't. 2 of them asked to come back even, but the company didn't allow it. And, you know, that says something. When people leave because they think that the grass is greener at the other side, and then they honestly tell, yes, we made actually a mistake, Igor. We made a huge mistake by doing so. And that was not that smart of us, but it's the way it is, you know. That says to me that the opportunity that we have, the way we do things, is extremely well. And when you go into the history, and I always like to say the things they are. There were times that it was a little bit more difficult. Were times when you start a company, you have ideas. Sometimes you have to change directions, but you know, sometimes you want to go from A to D, and you think I go via B and C. But then it turns out that there's the traffic jam at B, and you have to go around it a little bit. Still go in the same direction, and you didn't change directions, but you had to make a bypass. And sometimes in life we had to do that as well. And some of the leaders in Mexico, they thought that it's smarter to do than something else. And honestly, and I can say it the way it is, they regretted that they did it. So it is life, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes in life you must just hang on. When I see now what they are doing with the Forex insiders, I'm pretty sure that a lot of Colombian people, when they figure out how good it works now, they regret that they went somewhere else. And I know that it's always difficult, that the mentality of people, it is the way it is. It is the way it is. You know, I have the same. You know, I'm falling in love very easily. I start a relationship, but when there are things that I don't like, I'm very easy in ending it and starting something new. But you know, honestly, later on you think about. I remember that, and this is a beautiful example that happens with people in business as well. You know, I was with a woman. I get even children with her or child with her, and I thought, okay, now this is not the one. This is not the one. I thought for many years that she was not a perfect mother. But you know what? After her, I married with other women. And honestly, now I'm looking back on that part of my life, And you know what? It turned out that she is one of the best. I would give her a triple A rating as a mother. And I really thought back then that that was a reason to not stay with her, because I thought I don't want to have more children with her because she's not the winning deal. But I turned out that she was a great deal. It's not that I go back anymore, because you know what is behind is behind. I burn the bridges always, so I continue going. But honestly, she deserves all the respect, and that is how I see our opportunity. It goes up, it goes down a little bit. That's not a lot. Then it goes up and it and up and it goes as long as after the dip is a higher up. That is the life sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. It's exactly the way what I explained. That yeah, as long as we have only the view really to show, yeah, when half of the volume doesn't count, then your income drops. That is the way it is. But do we got the most? Are you crazy? Because we are now climbing a higher mountain. We are going like condors. We are going like eagles into the high mountains. And I'm pretty sure that within a year, we are somewhere where nobody even thought that we could get, because of the opportunity that lays in front of us. Now, Mexico has a tremendous potential. Let's do this calculation. This is a very realistic one. 129 million people. 129 million people spending 10 euro. That means that we talk about 1.2 billion, 1.2 billion volume. Do you know what that is? 1.2 billion volume. That is already 1.2 billion volume every single month. 1.2 billion. Let's calculate this. 1. Wow. This is really insane. This is 1000, 10.000, 100.000, 1 miljoen, 10 miljoen, 100 miljoen. I do the calculation. That means that when you do like this, 10 euro per month, easy doable from the 736. Every month you come on 1.2 billion. You divide that, that is then the turnover. 5% goes to the people that have the units from Mexico. There are 10,000 people who have that. That means that it's 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 64 million euro. It's the 5%. 64 million divided by 10,000 is 6,450 euro in my example, that you get rewarded for having a unit in Mexico. Only from the Mexicans. And we talk about only the Mexicans, not the American visitors or the people that are coming to Mexico. But this is what the Mexicans themselves could deliver to you. And can you imagine that you only paid 250 euros for the unit? And this calculation, I based it on 10 euro per month. But even when you say they only spend 10 euro per year, then this amount, 6,450, is way ahead of the game. That means that on the unit, a package that you bought and allocated to Mexico, let's presume that you buy an ultra pack. You get 42 units now in the infinity pool. You get 2 units in the pool where we have all this pool. Let's see, where's that one? I like to show that more. We have this, where it is in the infinity pool. Yes, you get 42 in the universal pool. You get 2 units in the infinity pool, and the infinity pool is separated over basic, standard, super, and ultra. 4% of 40% of that 1% is going to the ultra pack. So let's presume that you do 1, you get 2. And in this case, let's go back to my presentation. So besides the 6,400 that you get out of it directly, you have as well, and when you allocate it, by the way, you allocate an ultra pack, you get 4 units of Mexico. 4 units. So this amount, 6,450 times 4. Times 4 is 25,000 euros, ladies and gentlemen. 25,000 euros divided by 12. No, I don't have to divide it by 12 ships. I'm going to divide it by 12. And I'm saying then that you make 2,150 per month. But this was already the volume per month. So you have to do times 12. In my example, when you put an ultra pack into Mexico, from the Mexican on its own, you already make 25,000 a month. In this example, think about the discount. That's insane, ladies and gentlemen. That's an insane statement. It's really too crazy for words. But we talk about Mexico. And maybe you didn't understand it, but Mexico is, in my opinion, one of the biggest available countries. For me, when I look at it and I log into here, I look here, I will update it because I had it. I'll possibly have to log in again. It's all that Mexico is already in the top 5 of being almost sold out. Distribution, high and low. Go in the back office and see how many countries are already sold out. And now I go to Mexico. Mexico is, Serbia is sold out. Kuwait is number 1, 2. Iran, Mexico is number 3. 73% of Mexico is sold already. So that means there's 25 plus left. And I really think it's beautiful. When I look at this, then I would say from all the countries that you could buy, I think that Mexico is the number 1. Mexico is the number 1. I really believe personally that Mexico will bring you the most revenue out of that. I love Kuwait, I love Iran, I love Shanghai, I love Malta, I love Connecticut. But I would go, when I have to choose and I can only choose one, I would choose Mexico. Another one that I would absolutely choose is Greece. And I talked last week about the Netherlands. People don't understand what the Netherlands has to offer, but that's up to them. But Netherlands doesn't give double the units or triple the units anymore. So forget about them for now. So I would go for, yes, I would definitely go for Mexico. I would absolutely 100% sure go for Mexico. So when you don't have the units, get them. When you have them, see if you can get even more. From all the countries that I see over here, I think Mexico is absolutely one of the countries to have for absolutely 100% in your portfolio. It is an absolute must. Now, what does Mexico to offer? I have here, you see the 10 biggest cities in Mexico. Mexico City, of course, Mexico City is a combination of different cities. And then it even becomes bigger when you look at Mexico City, it's one of the biggest cities in the world. But my son took them aside. Then you have Tijuana, Ecatepec, Ciudad Juárez. Which ones are actually part of Mexico City? I think a couple of them are part of
Ecatepec is a part of Mexico.
only Ecatepec or more.
Yeah, only Ecatepec. From this list, Ecatepec is part of Mexico City.
Okay, and Ciudad Juárez.
Ciudad Juárez in Chihuahua.
I said Chihuahua.
Ciudad Juárez is the capital is Chihuahua, but Ciudad Juárez is a very important city in the border with Texas. El Paso, Texas, and Ciudad Juárez is the border.
Okay, Puebla, Zapopan, Guadalajara. Can you imagine? There are many cities that I never have been. Monterrey, Leon, Chihuahua. Chihuahua is, of course, world famous because of the little dog. So this is the top 10 of biggest cities. And this is the top 4 of most beautiful beaches. And all those beaches are actually, when you see the world's most spectacular beaches, all the 4 beaches are in the top 25 of most spectacular beaches of the world. Tulum, Guantanamita, Acumel Beach, and Cancun. And possibly you know way more. I've been in Cancun, in the Puerta Mujeres. Spectacular. I've been in Cozumel, but let's look at those beaches. Tulum. Yeah, Tulum it has as well that Maya mark, that big Maya mark that makes it spectacular, that makes it different from any of the other beaches. Then we have Punta Mita. You see it already. Spectacular. And only the beaches in Mexico is where the Americans are coming from. This beach, another, it is all. Whatever I click, Cancun. I have I feel so honored. I've been already 4 times because of business, because of Success Factory in Cancun. And I'm looking forward, when it's up to me, we organize another retreat in Cancun already in June. I'm looking forward because I miss Cancun. And I have to say, honestly, with big honors to Mr. Mario Vilmas and his wife Giovanna Rentera, as well to Eduardo Vasquez, because they organized that last retreat. And that last retreat is, I have to really think about another retreat, but I felt that the last retreat that I was in, it was in December, isn't it? It was one of the most spectacular, most beautiful retreats I ever did. And I spoke with Craig, and Craig said the same. I spoke with Peter, with Queenie, and they all said, wow, this was really mesmerizing, ladies and gentlemen. Cancun is the place to be. The most beautiful sights of Mexico. Yeah. What do we talk? Chichen Itza, Mexico City, Palenque, and Teotihuacan. Well, let's go for this. Chichen Itza, ladies and gentlemen. Chichen Itza. The last retreat made me clear that here is the big money maker. And I want to give you this as an example of how you can make money. Can you imagine that there's a free ticket that you can go and walk certain parts of this area? Chichen Itza is a big Maya culture. It's not only this pyramid, the staircase pyramid. It has 24 different objects, places on the territory that you can visit. Totally, it will cost you 2 days, 3 days maybe to visit them all. Now, what you see here is one of the most famous pyramids in the world, because this is one of the 7 new wonders of the world. Chichen Itza is chosen as one of the 7 new world wonders of the world. And Can you imagine that you are able to go walking and for free? But when free means that there's advertisement, means we make money. Let's presume that when you want to come close by and visit all the places, you buy a ticket of €2. You can walk around and go. When you want to go in, when you want to climb it, you have to buy a ticket of €5. When you really want to go in it, you have to buy another ticket, another €5 ticket on top of what you already had. And you can go in it, but you cannot walk because there's no entrance point. But you have to go to one of the other 24 places where you go down on the water. You go deep down. And actually, maybe I have something here to show you what I mean with going down. Here's one. Look at Yucatan here. You see it as well. You go down in a place like this, and we just went to a place like this on the last retreat. You go walk all the way down, you go in a boat, and there's a cave, and that cave brings you straight into a river, and that river ends actually straight under this pyramid, because under this pyramid is a whole way of caves and rivers, and there you can go out of the boat, climb up, and you come at the inside of this pyramid. But you know what is the surprise? You think you are at the inside of this pyramid, but you are at the inside of pyramid originally, the number one. And in that pyramid number one is a door where you can go out, and then you come in pyramid number two. That is the one that is built over the original, a little bit bigger. And then you're still not outside here, but you are at the inside of this pyramid. So in this pyramid are two other pyramids that you cannot enter from outside. So the tourists are not able to enter it. But in the view, we will get access to it. And they already agreed that we are able to film it and do it. So can you imagine what people will experience when they walk around for free? They want the ticket to get closer. They want the ticket to see everything. When they are there, you want to climb it, be able to climb it and buy another ticket. When you find out that there's a secret inside, you want to have the secret ticket. And with that ticket, you can go in the other place, go down, walk down to the water, go in the boat, make a boat tour, go in the caves, and come in pyramid one. Go from there in pyramid two, and then you are at the inside of this pyramid. As well, on top of this is a secret place that people in the past could visit by climbing it, but now they don't let the tourists because it destroys the pyramid. So you see there's a whole different range of tickets. As well, we can create flying tickets with drones that you can fly over it. Maybe in the future, you can rent your own drone. Can you imagine? You can rent a drone locally over there, use it with your sticks, and fly the way you want. So maybe we do something that is already filmed. Maybe we give you a private opportunity to fly with your drone around over there. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? Everything is possible. Whatever people can think, we can create that in the view. That means millions of people, because it's already visited by millions of people. But can you imagine that everybody in the world can be sitting at his home, taking the glasses, they sit in the home, and you see, my flamingo is still here. He's still with me. He's still waiting for me to finish so that I can play with him a little bit. You put on your glasses, and you are directly able to go into Chichen Itza, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about millions of people doing it, buying tickets. Let's say they buy for €5 tickets average, or €10, whatever. Can you imagine that happens every single day? That people in Canada, that people in Africa, that people in Asia, that people in Australia are able to buy the tickets without traveling there. not destroying the property, not making a mess, and that we virtually are able to sell even souvenirs and those things. Now, this is another beautiful place. It's in Mexico City itself. It's in Mexico City, and the beauty is that my son made this picture himself. He wanted to put it in, and he said, "This is my picture. That this is not a postcard. It's a picture that I made when I was traveling with you to Mexico City." Here you see another place. This is not Chichen Itza, this is Palenque. And this is another, look at this, spectacular. I've never been here. But when we would have this in the view, I would tonight already enter it and buy a ticket for that. Because this looks spectacular. And Mexico has so many of these places that you cannot even imagine that. And yes, you see, it's our own pictures, because this is close to Mexico City. This is Teotihuacan. I hope I pronounced it possibly wrong, but I do my best. Teotihuacan. And I have many things in my house from here. You have, I'm standing here, actually, on the pyramid of the moon, the Luna pyramid, and I am standing in front of the sun pyramid. And when I was originally, I could climb both of them. When I came back a couple of years later, I could not make the same pictures anymore, because they already started to close the moon pyramid for a big part. And they are now thinking about closing the sun pyramid, that you can walk around it but not climb the top anymore. And I hope in the view we give everybody the possibility to have the experiences that we had, ladies and gentlemen. Now, 5 seaside resorts in Mexico: Puerto Vallarta, Isla Mujeres, Playa del Carmen, Yucatan, and Mazatlan. And there are many more. There are many more, but let's just enjoy and look at it. Do you understand why this is one of the biggest vacation destinations in the world? Mexico can compete with Italy and Spain and France and Greece, ladies and gentlemen. And when you look at it, and I remember that, you know, when you look at Mexico, like Italy and France and Spain and Greece, they cost 500 euro. Mexico is only 250 euros. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Isla Mujeres. It looks like I'm in the Maldives over here. When I look at this, what do you think of this? Spectacular. It looks like I'm in the middle of the Caribbean. Yucatan. I already talked about that. This is spectacular. And with the retreat, we were able to visit all of this. Thank you for that. Mazatlan. I had the fortune, because of our translator Jorge and his friends, to be in Mazatlan, and I enjoyed it very much. I remember that we went out and we enjoyed it. So more I will not say about it, you know, because that's wiser. But it was a great place to be. It was really spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. I can only advise you, you know, when you're Mexican, you know those things. When you're not a Mexican, hey, make sure that you get your part of Mexico, because having units of Mexico will make absolutely the difference. And fortunately, there are still a couple available for everybody. There are still some available. Let's see what is this? What is he making me here? Oh. I try to log in. Yes, log in, access the product. I want to see what it is. And make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that when you buy something, do me a favor. I do my best for you guys, but you must do your best for me also. You know, it's together we achieve more. Teamwork makes the dream work. You know, there's so many traffic at the moment that I try to log in, and this is what I see. That having Mexico will make the difference, and you still get at the moment the double the units. So my expectation is that before the end of this month, before this deal ends, Mexico will be sold out, ladies and gentlemen. And here I go. Finally, it has loaded it. You know, I want to show you. Maybe you didn't look, but I do like this. All those countries that are passing by are actually sold out. I'm still, yes, here I need to go. What do we have? Sumatra, Sri Lanka, Dominican Republic, Samoa. Yes. Andrea comes to me and said, you don't need to eat. Yes, I need to eat. I'm hungry like a wolf. But you know, this is what I do. You are waiting. You are long in the Zoom call, but I'm long in the Zoom call too. And you see Mexico almost 74% sold out. Make sure that you get your part of it. There are 2,500 units left, but they only cost €250. And when people start to allocate ultra packs towards it, it divided by 4, and it's gone. Now, it was a pleasure. It was a long ride today. It was a long ride. Mexico is too important to skip fast, you know, but maybe when you're living in South America, it is great because when in the beginning, when you live in Tijuana, then yeah, there's 9 hours time difference. So it's now almost 11 o'clock. This is the longest, but you know what? I did actually 3 presentations. Next Sunday is the global call. Make sure you get on that global call. And next Wednesday, I am back with you with a masterclass about the view. I will do it a little bit different than today. I will start at it at 6, but I will do at 8 o'clock the next presentation. So because I need to have some time in between. So the first other country that I'm going to do is at 8 o'clock. And then the next one will be at 10 o'clock. So that means that you can choose what you want. At 6 o'clock is the standard one, is the master class about the view. And I told you already that next week I will emphasize on a couple of other points. In my opinion, 2 hours of training about something that is life-changing and giving you financial freedom is not that much. And then I will go into 2 of the countries that are available. You never know what comes up on the global call, because I always have some ideas to ask Roald. And, you know, when Roald is in a good mood, everything can happen, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to see you on that global call on the Sunday. For now, I would say I love you. I care about you. I wish you are able to create success for all. And remember, you can have everything in life that you dream, wish, or want when you first help other people with what they dream, wish, or want. Success for all, be the change, and you will see what dreams may come. Strength and honor, it's all about you. I will stop the sharing of this screen. I will get back to you, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I have no clue who is still here. I think I cannot even see that. That's weird. You know, I have still 35 participants, plus the people that Jorge has, and maybe he gets more and more. I'm looking around who are my loyal ones, who are there from the beginning. I still see Petra, I see Bobby, I have Jorge still here, Gabriela is still here. You see some people logged in, some people logged out. How great is this, ladies and gentlemen? You are able to be from 6 till 11 with me. Man, oh man, man, oh man. You get Ladies, you get trouble with your husbands because they think you're doing something else. So it is the way it is. I love you very much. And there were people that asked me at the beginning, they had some questions. So you can unmute yourself when you have relevant questions that are for everybody over here. You know, not a personal question. Yeah, you know what? I signed up for the clown and Mama Lou in Rachi Maduli, and I didn't get it done. Yeah, that is a personal question. You have to ask me privately, but when you have a question, like I promised, I will do that for you. I will be able to answer the question, and I think I know most answers. When I don't know it, yeah, and then it's done. Then I don't think somebody else will know it, or it becomes technical thing. You don't ask me those things because I have no clue. When you want to ask things about your account or your situation, the department where you can go to the legal department, we have the support department, and we are every week are coming more people in the support department. So I always say, you know, when you want to see the operations of the company, and yet that's a beautiful thing that I give to you at the end. Actually, we already finished. I know there are many companies out there, and we were not that long ago in Dubai, and sometimes people want to consider this. And you do Dubai, that's the number one scam city in the world for, yeah, but then comes Amsterdam, and we are not having our headquarters in Dubai. We don't need, because we have a real company. I challenge many of you. I know in the South America are many companies around that people say, yeah, you can make fast money. And I have the guts to say that at least 80% of them are scam companies. How do I figure that out? Because I simply visit, because leaders want to recruit somebody. So I'm a beautiful guy. Okay, that's me. But you cannot meet me in your lobby or your hotel room or your lounge. No, invite me to your company. And then the only thing that I want to see is how many people, whether it's in info technology or crypto company or whatever they have, trading, or show me how many people are working on the product. How many employees do you have? Say your trading company, your crypto company, you have this, you have that. You build an online shopping mall. Where is your office and how many people can I meet that are working on the product? I have enough technical knowledge at the moment to ask questions, because I know that when there are only 10 people working, it's never going to work. When you look at our offices, we have offices in Estonia, in Tallinn, in Tartu, in different places. We have offices in Amsterdam. And actually, the moment we open a new office, we already are stored. We opened the 9th floor. Wasn't enough. We did an office on the 7th floor. It's not enough. We redid the 9th floor to have double the people working. It's not enough. We are not looking at another. To have another, we need another 50, 200 people working at it. When it's a real company, they have real people working, not only a support department, but people that work at the back end of the info technology product. Because for that, you need a lot of people. When you're a big company like we are, we have a lot of people really working day and night. So, and legal department, that there's only one person, how can that be? A development department, there's only 2 people, that cannot be. Then you don't get it done. When I already see how many people we have working only on the view, every single week, sometimes every day, there are coming new people in the office that we hire because we need more. We need more because more people means more power, more speed, more for you. So I've seen many companies, and I don't want to give names because some of the leaders are even my friends. But you know what? When you have 7 people working, or you cannot show me your offices, and you cannot just come to Amsterdam and just think you can walk in. No, you can come to Amsterdam, make an appointment, and they will take care of you. Some of you have been in Amsterdam. Who of you have been in Amsterdam? Jorge, Petra has been in Amsterdam. So some of you really have been there, and every time that you come back, you will see improvement. You will see more people, more spectacular, more research and development, more developers working on the back end. And you see that as well on our website. You see the improvements, ladies and gentlemen. And it's all done by ourselves. We don't let other people do that. We take care about our own business. So, are there any questions in this group of diehards? Of course, I need to open the chat then. Oh, it falls around. Let me see. Where is it? I have a question for you guys, because I see always that people give an answer by numbers. They type in 3 or 4 or 5. But can I be honest with you? I'm really an infant with this. What means you write that down, Sarah Jimenez? You write down 555. But you know what? I have no clue what it means. Tell me, what means 555? What do you mean with that?
555 is the way, like say, an applause. 5 fingers, another 5 fingers is an applause.
Okay. Wow. Hey, I learned something. I look already for a year to all these numbers. And what means the other numbers? What means 1? What means the 1, Jorge?
El 1, the number 1. You are the number 1. What
means number 2?
I don't know, sir.
What means number 3?
No. The 5 is a digital applause. Zoom.
Okay. And 7, what means 7?
No, but Mr. Mario Bielmas prefers the 8 for the infinitum. The 8.
The 8. Okay. Learning. Good. See, I'm reading. The challenge is that I am able to read Spanish, but thank you anyhow, Sarah Jimenez. When can I get a view presentation? When can I get a view presentation? Oh, I think I just did that. I did it from 6 till almost 9. 3 hours of view presentation. So, or you mean a presentation that you can give? Is that what you want?
Yes, Mr. Igor. For presentations to the public, before that first part that you did earlier on today, I'm really interested in that first part where you go through the vertical, where take a turn and advertising and all these different things. If I could get that will help out greatly. Thanks.
It is not officially. I made it myself. Honestly, I made this myself with my son and with Juan, and because it's not there are a lot of teams. They have a lot of information in their group things. I think the Spanish, they have a lot of those informations, but honestly, I don't know if somebody speaking English has those same things. I know that the Arabs have it, the Russians have it. I know that the Spanish language, that they do those things, they have those things. Oh, look what I get. I get the tea. Wow. I get the tea. Yes. Look what I have. I have this one. And now I have this one. Hey, how is that? Let's ask my friend the flamingo. I started with him or her. What do you think about the cup of tea that I just got?
What do you think about the cup of tea that I just got?
Yay!
Yay!
You see?
You see?
It's a good one, this one, eh?
It's a good one, this one, eh?
Hey, thank you, Petra.
Hey, thank you, Petra.
I get it from the team of Petra in Tenerife.
Get it from the team of Petra in Tenerife.
So,
So,
who am I?
am I?
I am Tenerife.
Tenerife.
That's my name.
My name.
I'm the flamingo named after my birthplace.
I am the flamingo named after my birthplace.
And I am even on Igor's Dolce & Gabbana clothes.
I am even on Igor's Dolce & Gabbana clothes.
Funny, eh?
Hey, funny, eh?
So, I let him to shut his mouth now. So now he's not copying me anymore. So, 7 means luck. Yeah, it's a holy number. 2 means peace. Oh, good. You see, I'm learning. 5 means applause. 1 means you're the number 1. Okay, that's good. I'm learning. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here. You know, that's
Mrs. Sa from Chilpancingo Guerrero is asking you about what's going to happen with Ukraine. When Kiev is destroyed, what's going to happen with Ukraine? Is continuing in the view? Here's the question.
Absolutely, yes. Ukraine is a country in the view and it will always stay. But you know what? I cannot make officially, you know, so this is off the record. I cannot make political statements or those things, but of course I have a private opinion, and it's a shame that it happens. It's ridiculous that the world watches, and you know what? We have seen stories of King Leonidas that went with 300 and he stopped the Persian army. Can I be honest? The Ukrainians fight 1 against 50. The Russians have the most modern army of Europe, more modern than England or France or Germany. And the Ukrainians have one of the oldest armies, materials. Of course, we help them with materials. But in my opinion, it's nothing less than genocide. It's ridiculous that we let it happen. And in my opinion, I feel extremely uncomfortable with the situation. I know that many Russians are not to blame because, you know, it's not their war. They don't want it. They not even knew what's really happening. We have 5,000 people in Russia, great people, great leaders. I love them. And yeah, 5,000, no, I have to say we had 5,000 people in the Ukraine. And I already have heard stories of people that didn't make it. They didn't want to leave their country. They want to fight. I have the deepest respect for the people over there that are able 1 against 50. And they are able to hold. And the Russians are just going with long muscles, you know. I think that is cowardice. When you want to conquer, then go over the land and fight. But don't send muscles from far away. Then you know, you know, when I would be able, and of course I am able, you know, I'm not the youngest guy anymore. I have young children, so, you know, but I really all the blood in my veins are cooking by his incredible behavior. And yeah, it's my private point, and many of my friends are thinking the same. And as a company, of course, they cannot choose a side. And honestly, I have to be honest, there are wars all over the world. Yemen is a war. There are more than 25 different wars. But what you see in the Ukraine is really the biggest war after the Second World War. And it's insane. It's insane. And even when I'm not allowed to say it, I think somebody has to stop. Only one person is responsible for all this bullshit. Only one person. And how difficult can it be to take out that person? This is just the arrogance of one person. But there you see how the world can be. One guy with the wrong attitude, and I see it in many countries. I've seen things happening all over the place, and people, yeah, but this behind, and this is another this and another that. No, it's just an idiot guy that wants to conquer the land of his own brothers and sisters and start to kill innocent people. And when you want to fight, go in the arena. Go in the arena, like Elon Musk said. Mr. Putin, when you want to fight this fight, I'm willing. I'm not trained. I'm willing to go with you in an arena or in a battle till death follows. And think about that the other guy is a KGB well-trained agent. So it would be beautiful when the thing could have been solved like this. Of course, we don't know all the ins and outs, but it's something that is. But I guarantee you that Ukrainian will forever stay in the view. We launched it, people buy the units, and it is unfortunately that the company cannot take a point in this, because that will always be explained wrongly, and we have people at one side, and when the company does something, why do we do it for one and not for all of them? But then we end up doing constantly actions and activities for all places in the world. And the truth is as well, we not always know all the angles, but because it's close by, it's only 1,400 kilometers away from my front door. So, of course, it feels for me different when it would happen on the other side of the world. And the scale on what it happens, the way complete cities are bombed away, it is insane. It's nothing else than extreme ego, insane behavior, ladies and gentlemen. It will stay. Other questions, more beautiful questions? No more questions, ladies and gentlemen. You see, you have the chance. I'm still here. I think somebody prepared a good meal for me. Let's see what dreams may come. See, we are not even losing participants. That is something. We had 34 participants, and we still have 30% participants around. So when there are no more questions, then I will say, strength and honor. It's all about you. It's actually 5 minutes past 11. Hasta la vista. We will meet again on Sunday. Mwah.
Thank you for everything.
It was a pleasure being with you.
I love you. You visit California, okay?
We love you. I look forward for California. And Jorge, extremely thankful, because translating for 5 hours is a real, it's hard work. I know.
Hello, Igor.
Thank you very much. A pleasure. It's an honor to meet can be your translator in Spanish.
Hi, Igor. Still, is there a chance to ask a question? So may I have any idea that probably what happens after the view shares are done, like all the countries are done? So is there any specific plan to make the view by the network or something like that?
Who's asking me the question?
Sorry,
Who's asking me the question?
this is Bobby from Vancouver.
Okay, because I don't see nobody talking, but I see the picture. So I guess what was the question?
Yeah, like making something like Instagram but 3D needs a lot of jobs. So is there any specific plan that company is planning to do the view and kind of spread it out with the network, like team members and affiliates, or what happens after all the shares are sold out? So basically, this is a question that most of the people may ask, but I give some idea, but I'm not sure about that.
Now, already this year, I know they are working on a lot of. They are working on a lot of. Well, a lot of adventures, a lot of things, a lot of experiences. So after when the countries and regions are sold out, but that's not, we are not there because we still miss a lot of African countries. We still have some American countries, South American countries not in. We still have a lot of United States regions in. We still have a lot of Chinese, Indian, Indonesian, and Brazilian regions not in. So, but there comes a moment that we have no units available anymore. But already in that time, we will have other things that people can focus on, that people can do, where they can make the money with. There are going to come different potential network marketing income opportunities are coming in the view as well. So from ourselves, so things that you guys are able to sell or promote or get revenues from. So we all plan, but I'm not going to talk about that before that moment is there, because the focus of the company is now building experience. Focusing is the usability of the view. The focus of the company is the usability. We have a whole department working on the usability of the deck coins, as we have a huge department working on the Forex insiders as well, so that we offer you different income streams from a network marketing perspective. But of course, we will have opportunities within the view. We have a lot of opportunities. And there comes a moment that when the sold earlier, that we have to promote the experiences in the view via influencers as well, and give people outside Success Factory, because you cannot have only people from Success Factory paying and buying things. So there comes a moment that the whole world is able to buy, and only the people who have the units who will have the units of the region will benefit. But as a unit holder of, for example, Mexico, I hope at a certain moment that we have 100 million people visiting Mexico every single day. But they will not all come from Success Factory, but the moment they pay and buy a ticket, you will earn money with that. And of course, there will be opportunities within the network, specifically where the network always have the advantage. What they have the first, can be that we do things with a period of a year or 2 years or 3 years that are only for Success Factory affiliates, and after a certain amount of time it becomes global. but that means then automatically that the income model will change. So because when the people, you always will have an advantage first, but we will have some plans for multiple ways of making as an affiliate of Success Factory money interview. For sure, it will not only stay on the packages for the units. There will come other ways. Is that the answer that you want to have?
That was a perfect answer. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Mr. Igor,
Yes.
Our diamond, Gabriela Salgado from Mexico, is asking you about if you have some date to arrive the view in the United States. The view is open in the United States. If you have some date or some approximate date to launch the view in the US.
Yes, it will come. I cannot say really when, but I don't think this year. And it can be that, like the debt coin, as long as we were selling the debt coins, we could go into the United States. We have to be very carefully by selling the view, because before you know, they see it as an investment, as that you buy shares, whatever, and that you need licenses for that. So it can be that when the units are sold out, we open the United States for it. But then for what is the second phase of our plan? As I already stated, we have a plan. But buying views, buying units, allocating them, and then make revenue on that is a tricky, wicky thing. Is a little bit challenging for the United States, and we won't in no way get in trouble, because we think that with the forex insiders, especially, we launched it now. People are signing up like crazy for it. People are buying the things, they are learning it, but I think very soon we have the automatic system for the United States, and that is what really booms. That's I expect that we not have thousands of sign-ups, thousands of sign-ups in the United States. That gives an underground of money that comes every month, because though that subscription is a monthly subscription, and we will have that in the view as well. In the view, we will have monthly subscription, not for the units, but for other things. And that is, of course, possible in the view. Think about an idea. Now you buy the units, and you have the subscription units. Whatever you pay, you can use. In the future, we can sell packages of usability packages, not to allocate, but to use for certain things, for games or whatever visiting, big packages or little packages that you can have a discount. When you buy the package, when you subscribe for a package, you can get double or whatever. That will come, and then it is a subscription. But then it has nothing to do anymore of the units, allocating the units. And maybe the law firms will find out that we can do it, then we will do it. But we will, of course, and I hope you understand, we will have no risk at all doing that. So I understand. Personally, I have hundreds of big leaders of other companies that immediately would join us when we would be able to sell in the United States the view units, because everybody in the United States understands that that's the big thing. And some of them are very smart. They find a way. Like you guys have always the way out of Mexico. Everybody has a family or whatever. But honestly, it would be the biggest boom when we could launch the View this month in United States, our turnover will triple immediately. But we are not. Legally, we cannot do that right now. And we want to do everything. We prefer to wait and do it step by step than to compromise the whole operation. We cannot take any risk there. It's too much money of all of us involved to take any risk of jeopardizing that. Same with China. That would be a huge market, of course, and it's unfortunately for many Americans that they will find out that their country is sold before it starts. They will feel very uncomfortable with it, but that's what it is. We cannot change that. Once, twice. I love you guys. I'm going to end the meeting because it's time to. I eat some of my beans, my Mexican beans, but now I look forward to have real dinner with my Mexican beans. Yeah, Teresa. Yes, St. Lucia is on the list. I also made St. Lucia. So St. Lucia is on the list, and it will become one of the upcoming months in the voting procedure.
Mr. Igor, a question from Vivian and Ismael. If you have 10,000 euros, which region or in which country did you invest?
Now?
Now, yeah, now.
Looking at what is there? Mexico.
Vivian and Ismael ask you that.
Mexico. Greece. Greece is a tremendous other. You know, I base it as well on double units. I would buy absolutely the Netherlands because but it doesn't give no offer anymore. So I would say, yeah, you're still able to get something from I would buy Iran. Absolutely Iran. That's a country with a lot of people and a great potential. And like Mexico, extremely entrepreneurial. Even when we hear not always that message, but you will be shocked how great Iran is. And Iranian, Kayam, one of our leaders, is originated from Iran, and we have a huge growth team. So it's huge potential. Iran, Mexico. I would do Greece, absolute Greece. I would, when you have money available, I would at what is available. Some are not that expensive. I would buy one of Curacao. Curacao having a great potential. Argentina is one of the bigger countries and it gets double the units. And honestly, I cannot imagine when you have a serious package that you don't have Germany or the United Kingdom or Japan on board of it. I would buy Colombia. With that amount of money, I would go for different ones. And South Korea is people underestimate. Japan and South Korea are economically high grade countries in Asia. And I don't know if they still have the unit, but Singapore and Qatar, yeah, can you imagine? You don't understand people, they are so extremely rich, and those people can easily spend 100 or way more money monthly in the view. I would buy at the moment the ones that have the double the units. You know, like Nigeria is only 125 euro, but in potential Nigeria being within just a couple of within is one of the 3 biggest countries in the world when it comes to people. It's a fast growing economy. So I would make my portfolio really diverse, like we have it, and I would go for the countries that have the double the units, because that gives me the infinity pool and that gives me the universal pool.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good. Now I really go close it and end the meeting, ladies and gentlemen. See you on Monday.